Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Let's talk about the Forsters for a minute. I don't understand this Forster versus Logan mentality, but I do know people like Taylor, followed by people like Steffi, isn't helping. Okay, there's a part in this episode where Taylor's like, oh, Douglas should sit there and be with you. He should spend more time with you. He's not a Logan. He's a Forster. And I'm like, no. He's also a Forster because his mother is Hope. And her mother is Brooke. Which would make him a Logan as well. So I don't understand when she said that. And it almost like it got kind of quiet and a little awkward for a minute. And Thomas said something and she was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I said that. I shouldn't have said something like that. And my whole thing was like, well, why did you? Why did you say something like, why did you say that for? And I remember somebody was meant to say, it shouldn't be this Forrester versus Logan thing. He's lucky to have a lot of people that love him in his life. And at the end of the day, they're all family. So her saying that was just like, really? And I would like to know where that really came from. I mean, I can only speculate because, she's still, well, let's be honest, she's still kind of butthurt about the fact that Rich chose Brooke over her. But instilling that in your children is just, really? I don't even have a word to describe that. That's just how baffled I am when I heard that. Now I guess I understand that Hope has, parental rights. Like she has I don't know exactly the legal term for it, but she has rights as far as, being co-parent or whatever. Point is, legally, like she has the rights as far as her son for now. Because apparently I'm assuming Thomas was doing some wild stuff back in the day. He was not all there. And if I'm going to be honest, I kind of miss those days. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's great now, but I guess back then it probably seemed like it was a little more fun to sit there and watch what kind of shenanigans he would pull, what kind of insane stunts he would sit there and do. Just to sit there and see the full transformation. Now I sit there and think about it. He's a lot more redeemed now than he was back then. When I sit there and think about General Hospital, and I think of somebody like now, they could have really did that. I mean, hell, I felt like they tried to do that, but then they just decided, you know what, nah, we're just going to make her a full-blown villain. So, I don't know, I guess that's why I kind of missed those days, because I would have liked to see, what kind of nonsense he was sitting there doing. Something else that stuck out to me was when Taylor was like, I missed a lot of stuff in your life, like the bad stuff with y'all dealing with Sheila and some of the good stuff as well. And, Steffi was like, no, it's okay, you're doing, important work. And I'm like, so it's okay that she missed, some very important, significant moments in your life. That's okay, too, right? I just don't understand that. And I know somebody in the comment section said that, the stuff that happened, like the drug addiction, the motorcycle, the baby, all that stuff that happened was wrapped up kind of quick. It's not the point, though. I mean, hell, the minute that any of that stuff happened, Richard sat there and called Taylor, and Taylor should have been on the first plane getting her ass back to LA to sit there and see what's going on with her daughter. But instead, nah, she's too busy saving the world and globe-trotting and all this other stuff. But yet, everyone just gives her so much praise. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes, especially in this soap opera, certain people don't deserve the amount of praise that they get. Taylor, Paris, it just gets to a point where it's like, alright, bro, we get it. Like, just calm down. Now, after Katie and Brooke finished their conversation about Ridge versus Deacon and, supporting her daughter, kind of being stuck in the middle, after they finished that, which, by the way, that's a really crappy position to actually be in, that she has to sit there and try to, either support her daughter or side with her husband. And I did read the comment yesterday about there's a better way that they could have went about it. Like Hope could have actually met her dad somewhere else. Didn't have to, there was something saying that, Deacon shouldn't just have to come there and violate Rich's space, and, if Brooke was really trying to be accommodating, then yeah, maybe it would have been better for Hope to move. This way, Hope gets to see her dad as many times as she wants, and everyone, kind of coexists and whatever. Because I think that, ultimately was the problem. I mean, granted, he doesn't like the fact that she wants to spend time with her father, but hey, listen, you want to do that, you do that somewhere else. You're not going to sit there and come on the property and have this man come in my space. No, absolutely not. Of course, once again, I felt like he could have handled it a lot better than him being so, quote-unquote, rigid. The sad thing is, I was thinking about that little joke or that little comment today. Even before I started watching, I was like, damn, this guy Ridge is so damn rigid. It is so cringe, it's so cheesy, but that's literally how he's acting about the situation. Now, Hope and Deacon are spending some time, just bonding or whatever over martial arts, Deacon's teaching her a couple of moves, and, they're just having a really good time, and Brooke comes in there, and, Hope is like, hey, he could sit there and teach you some moves as well, and I'm like, Hope, don't do that. Don't do that. There's already friction between, Brooke and Ridge. Why are you adding to that? Like, why are you adding to that? She was like, no, I'm cool. I'm good or whatever. And, Deacon, turns on the charm or whatever. And she's like, all right, fine. So she participates in their little demonstration or whatever. And then, Deacon starts talking about how proud, of Hope, how proud he is of Hope. And Brooke is a large part of that. And just starts pretty much laying in on the charm. And I'm sitting there just writing this down like, yo, he's trying to steal your girl, Rich. He is trying to steal your girl. Which granted, I don't think that was the motivating factor behind him complimenting Brooke. It's just generally how he felt and about how proud he is of Hope being the woman that she is. And a large part of that is Brooke. Brooke was smiling a lot. And Ridge has been acting like a dick, so partly like a dick. At the end of the day, he doesn't like Deacon. He's entitled to his feelings. The way he goes about it is what bothers me. I gotta sit there and say, between the two scenes, between the Forresters and the Logans or whatever, I genuinely enjoyed the scenes with Hope and Deacon and Brooke. I feel like a lot of people are rooting for Deacon because he is trying. He's living at the place that he's living in a broom closet. So that way he could sit there and be closer to his daughter. He's not taking shortcuts. He's literally sitting there trying to work hard. And, that's something that we can all sit there and get behind, he's literally the underdog in this show. So I think everyone can sit there and appreciate that. Where the Forresters, specifically Taylor, is, has this mentality of the Forresters versus the Logans, as opposed to one big family, that supports each other and supports Douglas. I feel like that's about it for the most part. If I forgot anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I want to thank everyone for watching. I am blown away. Looking at the numbers, there was a couple points where my B&B reviews were higher than my GH reviews, and I actually had to sit there and do a double take, because I was like, oh, let me just refresh this for a minute. So, yes, I want to thank everyone for watching these reviews. Also, just a little side note, what does anyone think of the thumbnail so far? I'm only sitting there asking because I've only recently started doing them, because I only recently learned how to do them. So I'm always sitting there trying to add different pictures and stuff like that, just to make it a little more fun and stuff. So let me know what everyone thinks about that, and well, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below about this episode. Thank you for watching, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.